Welcome back, YouTubers. Hello again, subscribers. On today's episode, we're going to be cooking with Chris. I love to cook and I enjoy it so much. Now I can make it easy for you. Today's episode of Cooking with Chris. Today we have an easy and another affordable breakfast for you to cook. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 eggs into my mixing bowl. Just before I add the ground cinnamon, I like to scramble the egg so it gets a better mix. Now I add the ground cinnamon to my egg mix. Now you want to make sure you be careful when you mix this because the ground cinnamon is so fine that the dust particles will actually float on top of your mix. So make sure you scramble it at an angle. It helps get the mix in better with your egg. Now I measure out about 1/4 cup of milk and I add that to my mix. You don't want to put too much milk in there because that'll make it real runny and make the bread very soggy when you throw it on the stove. Go ahead and give that a quick little mix. Next thing I'm doing is just getting the meat ready for the stove. Take the bacon out, take the ham out. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm cutting the bacon in half. Now, I've been doing this since I was a little kid, but it was different reasons. When I was younger, I used smaller pans because I didn't eat that much, so I didn't need to use the larger pans. But now I still cut them because you can get a lot more bacon in there when I cut them in half. Plus, you can portion it out better when you have more kids to feed. Next, we're probably going to do the easiest things to cook, which is scrambled eggs. Get yourself a bowl and go ahead and put 2 eggs in it. And then with 2 eggs, I like to season mine. I put a couple sprinkles of salt and a little bit of pepper in there before I scramble it. You could do this if you like, or you could put some other spices if you need to. Some people put whatever they want to, but for me, I just like to put a little salt and pepper. Today I'm cooking a little bit different. I'm going to be adding cheese to my scrambled eggs just to change it up a little bit. Now you can do this at home if you like, or if you can't, you can skip it. Now I just mix in that cheese very good, and here I just get the bread plated for the French toast. And now we're ready to cook. I put my pans on the first 2 burners in front of me, that way they're close to me and I don't have to reach over them while I'm cooking. Now the first pan I got, I'm going to be cooking the meat in, and I'm going to spray it with Pam or some type of spray till the meat doesn't stick to the pan. Fill up the first pan with your bacon, that way that meat can cook first. You always want the item that's going to take the longest to start cooking first. The rest of the items will come up hot. That way you don't burn anything or the items that cook fastly get cold. The next pan I'm going to be focusing on is for the French toast. I take my French toast mix and I take my first piece of bread and I just put it in the bowl. I grab it quickly and flip it to the other side so the liquid doesn't soak up the bread and you get soggy French toast. Place it in the pan immediately so it can start to cook. That way the liquids doesn't absorb the bread and you get soggy French toast. Keep an eye on it. It takes a couple of minutes to cook. Now the way to tell is that the edges of the bread start to get brown and you see the egg cooked. Here comes the flip. Now look how brown that is. You don't want it to get too brown to where it seems burnt, but you don't want to have no uncooked egg when you pull that from the stove. Repeat the same process once the French toast is cooked on each side. You want to get a nice golden brown on both sides, that way you can taste the cinnamon and not burnt cinnamon. Pull all the cooked bacon off the pan and into a bowl or plate that has a paper towel waiting to suck up the grease. Ham doesn't take too long to cook. Put a few slices on the stove at medium and keep an eye on them. You don't want them to shrivel, you just want them to get through a nice crisp look. Now you're ready for the scrambled eggs. Get yourself a clean pan, put it on the stove, get yourself some ham and spray it so it doesn't stick, and add a little bit of butter for more flavor. Now, when it comes to cooking scrambled eggs, like I said before, they're one of the easiest things to cook. Now, while they're on the stove, you want to make sure that it doesn't brown on one side. You want to get yourself a nice golden yellow and then stir it around. Keep your eggs fluffy by constantly stirring them and not letting them sit in one part of the pan for too long. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your French toast, cheesy scrambled eggs, bacon, and ham. I want to thank you for tuning in today. I hope you guys learned something. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Hit that notification bell every time new videos pop up.